Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. It's a great privilege and a great honor to share just the difficulties everyone has, how to support students, and also just to encourage people today. You know that sometimes I wonder if we actually need to know how to support parents instead of students while they're having exams. So you'll see at the bottom it says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus. And that is really something that I just want to instill with today is the exams these days at schools are quite hectic, and there's a lot of pressures from schools and systems and everything else, but we do not have to be anxious about that. It's a way and a means of how to get people to be examined, especially children. And also, it shouldn't be instilled as a fearful thing in children. I think these days, you know, a lot of parents and a lot of teachers, they are scared. They're instilling a fear in children. Some do, some don't. I just feel we do not have to be anxious about that. So having said enough of that, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Nicola. I'm the daughter of the Most High King. I'm married to a wonderful husband. His name is Chart, and we've been married now for a little bit more than 13 years. And we've got 4 beautiful children, 2 girls and 2 boys. That's 12 and 9, 7 and 3 at the moment. I'm passionate about Jesus and his people and his community. I'm also passionate about family and friends. I always love speaking to people, and my friends and family make time for them, as well as the outdoors, gardening, playing piano, dancing, love, and listening to music. So a little nutshell is I used to be a dancer all my life, a ballet dancer, and then wanted to be a doctor, specializing in heart surgery, and then became a business owner of my own ballet and Pilates studio for about just over 17 years, became a mother in the meantime, and now I'm entrepreneur and homeschool mom of currently 2, hopefully soon 4. I love combining my knowledge and my passions to encourage, equip, and enable people. And just to share about the knowledge and the passions, how I got here today is, as a young girl, I had open heart surgery for a thymus gland that was taken out. And because of that, I wanted to go study heart surgery. So I studied BSc Biological Sciences after school to get, because I actually missed my count with like a 1 or 2 marks. And then I went to study that, and past a year gone, I realized I want to pursue my passion for dance and people and dancing and Pilates and movement, and actually the art of human movement. While that, I had the dance and the Pilates career for quite some time. In that time, I also became a mother of 1, and then my second daughter was born, and my first son was born. And after that, I pursued my basic Pilates course. I did some freelance working, and in between that, I used to do a lot of various different short courses, and you know, I love just to learn about a lot of things. Where I am today is I eventually had my 4th little baby, and because of the versatility of that, I love combining a lot of things together and love teaching. And eventually, after COVID, I started homeschooling, or just continued with homeschooling, which we absolutely love, which also is hard sometimes, but it's very exhilarating. And then obviously my heart for people and children and just women, just to equip them and enable them and encourage them. So after school, I did my dance and teaching degree, at TUT, and then further studied my Basic Pilates qualified certification in math and the equipment. And then I did a short few courses about anatomy and physiology and child psychology and development. And I also have a very big interest in the neuroscience of learning and development, and also did short courses in that with the behavior and delays and the brain dominance. And then also classical conversations, which I'm not sure everyone is aware of, but that is also a curriculum that just specializes in various different subjects in schooling for primary school and high school. And then the IEW is the Institute of Learning and Writing. So that is the little courses that I did during the past couple of years, and the interest that I had regards to that. The observations that I've made through teaching others and learning from myself and others was that to teach is actually to touch a life forever, whether it's positive and whether it's negative. And you can only teach and guide successfully if you've got that knowledge about that, and also that passion for what you teach and a love for whom you guide it to or teach it to. And that's very dear to me. When I had my dance studio, I used to work with ages from the age of 3 until the age of about 26 at that time. And the biggest thing that I realized is the impact that we as parents and we as tutors or instructors or teachers have on whether it is a child or whether it is a grown person or a teenager or a tweenie. And it's really just when it comes to exams, I was so calm about those exams because I realized that the work has been done throughout the year, and whatever you have done in preparing, getting there by that time, that's the only things you can do. And it's not necessary to get anxious about that because you have put in the work and the child has also put in their side of their work. So I think for when it comes to exams, sometimes I think it's like really, I don't know if it's a terrible word, but exam seems to create a lot of fear in people, especially in children. And that's one thing that I realized, that if we just instill peace and encourage them, you know, that it's something that the information that you've gathered, it's just something to tell them, oh, this is what I have learned. That's all what an exam is, just to show someone else, this is what I've learned so far. People do examine it and they do mark it, and you do get marks for it, but it's just a way of saying next time I will do better. So it's just to encourage and instill peace with supporting our children, that they do not have to fear or have anxiety when it comes to exams. So supporting students before and during exams, there was something that's very dear to me, and that is just the concept of planting seeds. If we consider a garden and a master gardener, he gives us instructions of how to plant, how to put these seeds in the soil, how to cultivate this soil, and how to nurture the soil, you know, by putting in compost and putting in fertilizer and watering it. And he gives us guidance, and he wants us to steward that. So what can we do to support our children? Where can we plant the seeds? Where can we cultivate the soil for them in their environment to help this love for learning, to create a love for learning and to nurture it and to cultivate it? And you can only plant seeds and nurture it, water it and steward them. And the cooperation of us as well as the grace of God and the laws of nature. That is when the seed actually comes to fruition and bears fruit. So we shouldn't be anxious about when the plant will grow or how quickly it will become to fruition. That's God's job. So to support your child by planting and nurturing the seeds, there's a few things that are encapsulated in a little presentation for you to make it practical of how we can support our students and our children in exams going forward. So cultivate and nurture the need. So when we nurture, it is literally to embrace what's been given to us, and to teach that to our children, to students, as teachers, as mothers, as fathers, as any educator. And I've got an upside down pyramid at the moment. So my upside down pyramid is there for a reason, and I laid it out in 6 little circles, and we're going to start with the encourage and the engage part. When we encourage and engage, we help the children to give them tools in order to fulfill what they need to learn. So before an exam, we can encourage them to listen in class, to take notes while they are listening. I mean, yeah, from grade 3, grade 4, they are able, to write properly. So they can listen and they can take notes. Whatever is standing out for them, they can make little notes. We can have there like a little notepad ready for them so that they can write the topic and really just write down words that come to mind while the teacher is giving a lesson. That way they can go home, they can revise it, and they can speak about it. They can speak about it with the parents. For instance, they might not know a specific word, and you can go look up that word, and you can repeat what have been said during class. And that's also, when teachers hand out notes, just to read through it. Repetition is very important to do. I remember when we were in a chemistry class once, the teacher once says, if you listen, you have already learned 80% of your work. So, and that is really true. If we just listen properly, and we can activate our children to listen in class, which I know a lot of schools are struggling these days with the discipline. But I mean, if we can encourage our children just to listen in class, it will be a tremendous win. And perhaps even ask the teachers to, engage with essential oils in their class. If they can put a lavender or eucalyptus or anything that activate those senses, they can enjoy and hear and listen and smell everything while they learn these lessons. But I'm going to talk about essential oils a little bit later as well. But, we can ask our children and engage in these subjects or topics daily and on a weekly basis. If there's something that sparks their interest, we can actually encourage them to go read up on it. And we as parents can actually also, take that topic, for instance, that the children has spoken about 3 types of heat flow, like convection, conduction, and radiation. They can actually go read up on it and see a little bit, a task about it, and do a project on it or a science experiment about it. That will just create the engagement of that subject so that it becomes a little bit more practical for them to learn about. It's also about the jar effect. Andrew Pudwa is a director of the IW, the International Curriculum of Writing, and he says that you can only take out of a brain that has been put into the brain. And I totally agree with that, because you can take nothing out that's not in. So if you read, and I really encourage my children as well to read a lot, it's still a struggling process, but we are slowly getting there. But we have to encourage our children to read with integrity, to read with understanding, and those you call it begripstoets. I can't remember the English word now, but those are so significant for them to read a passage and actually take notes out of those passages to help them understand that. So that's one thing also of doing it, to spend time together and get into their world and to know what subject or topic fascinates them and read up on that. And even in the schools where subjects are given to them, you know, to make it interesting and have fun with them. And technology is here for a reason, and we should make use of it in a beneficial way and a safe way. We can show them videos, we can show them things on Instagram, on YouTube, on Google. We can make it so fascinating for them that they don't realize they are actually learning and knowing about what they are going to write exams about. So even the exams, I mean, there's so many information these days on the cyber web and internet and everything that it is mind-blowing. You will sit for hours just showing them different things. And then sometimes also before exams, you know, teachers and parents can be a mental block or a stepping stone. And we as parents must really get to the root of why our children perhaps might not want to read, or why they are having this mental block about either math, or I know it's usually math or reading. And those are the two fundamental subjects that we have to encourage our children to enjoy. Never mind even to start understanding, just to enjoy and to make it fun. Because those mental blocks will prevent them from being able to excel in other subjects. So I also, you know, am a very big supporter of creating a peaceful environment. If you are at home and they're busy doing homework, or they have to study doesn't necessarily have to be in a room where everything is quiet and where no one is moving. They can go outside. They can sit outside next to the pool if they want to revise their math problems or read up on a book. They can sit outside on the lawn, and we can make it so interesting for them to learn. I do realize that parents don't always have the time, but just to giving them those opportunities and giving them a different kind of means how to study will be able to nurture that need. So we support students and children by cultivating that nurture and that need, and that is just one easy way. So the next, I want to quickly just chat about the essential oils and vitamins. How essential oils is such a great thing that has been given to us since forever. It has been used in biblical times for everything from holy ceremonies to healing to anointing and many more, many other everyday needs. The essential oils, the olfactory and the limbic system, has got such a big power of creating all these three and bringing all three of them together. So I'm going to quickly show you this picture. So as you have essential oils in an environment where anyone needs to learn, whether it's in a classroom, whether it's at home, this is where that scent of that essential oil actually gets inhaled by the nose, and it gets pulled through by the olfactory receptors, which goes directly through the brain, then go to the hippocampus and into amygdala. So the amygdala actually processes all the emotions and the feelings, and is also good for processes memory. So if we can study with essential oils, that is so good for our children. It calms them, it gives them clarity of mind, it enables them to make use of like all their senses, to activate the eyes, the nose, the ears, the smell, everything. And one of my friends, she's a life coach, and also neuroscience is her thing. And she told me that what she also does is she makes the children little clay balls with essential oils. She says it works wonder. It's almost like a little stress ball that the children use, that they can play around with while learning or going through their notes that they've made, and so on. So the essential oils that I would like to just put out there today is the doTERRA essential oils. It's such a magnificent brand. The reason why I use them is they are pure oils. You'll see there's a CPTG grade. They go through extremely different processes to get that pure oil. And I'm sure Angie Bardenhorst is also with us today. She will also give you a little bit info later about that if anyone wants to know. But it's such a good essential oil. So yes, so the olfactory and the limbic system just works well with essential oils. That activates all our senses, calms our moods, bring clarity to mind. Such a brilliant tool that I actually want to say to use while our children are studying. And it actually can be diffused. It can be used topically and also internally, so you can swallow it as well. So they've got 3 little essential oils to help. But she will tell you a little bit more about that. It's the Study Thinker blend, which is mainly for alertness and focus on tasks. It's the Adaptive Study. That is just to soothe anxious feelings, just to calm down. And then also the In Tune. That works together with so many other essential oils. And I've heard such good things about this. I use these oils myself as well, not all the study ones at this stage, but I will definitely make my children make use of this. Then they also have a vitality and a vitamin range that is brilliant, that also covers all of the vitamins, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Then the next tool is to help support our students, is to stay active. I'm very passionate about this, and I do know a lot of people actually, when exams start, they stop their children's extramural activities, and I want to encourage parents not to do that. That is for them a break between subjects, a break to enhance focus and concentration. It increases the oxygen and blood to the brain, and it releases endorphins. So they will feel happy and motivated and excited when they keep on doing their extramurals during these exams. So I want to encourage everyone, to keep those extramurals, even if they don't have extramurals, just to take a walk outside or jump on a trampoline or play a little bit outside or go take a swim, just embracing the water and it just does amazing things for the brain and activation of that. Family and friend activities, games often lift moods. So we try to either have a games night on a Monday or Wednesday evening, whether it's one game. They are so excited to start having that game, just to enable them for communication. And it takes a little bit the pressure off of the exam completely. It takes the pressure off of the exam. It brings a little bit of light and life into that sometimes hectic season of a child's life. So you can definitely make it a priority in between the exams. And that braai or that coffee, go for that braai with friends, go for that coffee. There was always the saying, a coffee a day keeps the doctor away. I do believe an outing a week keeps the child meek and the devil asleep. So that is also an extremely great bargaining tool for your child. If they have got a study or a project that's coming up, and you can give them 3 times that they need to go focus on their studies, like they have to study now for 45 minutes or 30 minutes. If they do all their study sessions, there's an outing a week at the end of the week that we can go take part in, whether it's a party, whether it's a braai, whether it's just an outing to the fun park or to the bike park. So that is normally a very good bargaining tool for the studies, the outing a week. And then to be creative with studying in environments and methods. Like I said earlier, we can have those environmental things from the outside where they can sit outside and learn or read or do their projects. It just creates a extremely exciting tool for them to not just sit at a desk all the time. It makes some children think easier and just be more active. So they can sit on a Pilates ball, an exercise ball,